Hey everyone, it's Eric here from Macbook. Got this nice 2017, this is the A1534. This one is a notorious 12-inch one that didn't last too long. I think it was only like 3 years anyway, but it's in here for repair. It's not turning on. I'm not too sure exactly why, but we'll go ahead and take a look. What's this nice one? It's 12-inch. And this one does have those butterfly key switches, which are pretty bad as they come anyway because they bottom out very easily. They're very easy to damage. But this one didn't last long. It's really cool, nice device, and they make the repairs even more difficult. Everything's soldered on just like the newer ones, but there's no fan, and I'm not a fan of that if it has no fan. So let's go ahead, let's plug it in, and let's go ahead and see what's going on with it. I plugged in actually over here to another device. Got my nice voltmeter out here. And this one only has one port, and this is, I think, when they started to only do like one USB-C port, right? So there's only one. If one goes bad, you're all not gonna have a good time. So let's see what it says. So it says 19 volts, this is no amps. So there's no current going through there, but at least recognizing that there is a charger and something's plugged in there. Now, is that a battery problem? Is that something else going on? So the port seems to be okay, right? And it does recognize that there's a correct amount of voltage, which is a good thing, but there's no amps. So I wonder if we open it up, well, if we see if there's a nice surprise in there, like nice corrosion, or if there's something else going on, who really knows? So let's actually get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and we will take a look. This one, you know, I do like showing this one to open up because, let me get the right screwdriver. All right, there you go. I like showing this one to open up because I like to show you guys the trap. This one is a trap because you can't just open it up, otherwise you break all the connections in there. So I always like showing this. I don't care how many times I do this. That's because it's fun. Because look, there's a connection in there, and it's a keyboard connection. You need to be very, very careful while you remove that. Now, because if you just open it, you totally tear it. And we've had people, man, I've seen stuff where this gets all ripped apart just by opening it, and then you have a completely different repair just doing this in the first place. So there you go. Did that. Now let's take out that connection. It's fine. Now I can not safely open it, but I can open it. And I just undid this one right there because that's gonna be a problem. Even when you fold it down, or how am I supposed to put this down, you still can't do it. Now it's dangerous because you have the battery connection here. So before you do anything else, you just need to be really, really careful. Let me do this. Open up. Now this is a battery connection, and again, they make this a pain because this battery is still connected even though I did take out the screw. The screw puts pressure on the positive and negative there, and yeah, you need to put something underneath it to block it. It's very similar if you ever seen like an iPad or something. It's very, very similar to that. So what we like to do actually is like to put something that's not going to damage it, right? Or you don't want to put a piece of metal under there like a quarter. You don't want to be doing that. You can put a piece of plastic pretty much to make sure that this isn't connected correctly. So there you go. It's a little bit lifted. It's holding up there, so it should be okay. And we still can't put this down yet because I have the cables. I guess I maybe can, right? I just need to be careful. I'm not stressing any of the cables. There you go. Okay, so now we can actually start seeing what's going on with this one. It's a good thing, actually, now since I do have it open. I'm really curious if I just plug it in, what's my new symptoms now, right? And so again, we have one port over here. So if I'm going to plug it in, now we have the battery disconnect. I want to see if anything changes when the battery disconnects, because that's always number one thing. And I'm not in frame again, so you guys can't see nothing. Okay, so let's plug this in and see what we get. All right, so we got 5. Let's see if it kicks back up. 20. Now the amps are going up there. So I'm really curious if this is more of a battery or something else, or maybe there's a problem because we disconnected what? We disconnected 2 things here. We disconnected the keyboard, and we also disconnected the battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this and see what changes. And you did hear that power on, so it seems like something did happen there. And look, you can see the Apple logo there. Okay, so it's interesting. So let's narrow this down. Let's go ahead and see if I just connect the battery again, because that was the last thing I did. Let's go backwards and see if that actually fixes it. Let's see if behavior changes. I'm gonna plug this back in. Okay, voltages go up, so it's not a battery problem that we have here, so it looks to be good too. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reconnect the keyboard, because that might be the problem. Okay, so I put that back, and I can't fully open it, can't fully close it here, so we go this way. So let me go ahead and plug this in and see if this makes any difference. See, it goes back to 0.01. So it looks like, what do we have here? It looks like we have a problem really with the palm rest, and or at least the keyboard connection. I can do this. I could just remove it as we're going on. It's probably going to turn on. But you see, it keeps going up and then it keeps going back down because there's probably some type of short. There's probably a problem with the keyboard itself, and that's really what we would need to do. I want to go ahead and check the one other thing I want to check before we totally write this as a keyboard. It would be to check this keyboard connection that's down here, because that's going to be one of the most important things. We have seen before that there sometimes could be like a little piece of food, or there could be a very small little bit of corrosion there, and that could be doing it as well too, because maybe the keyboard's okay, but there's a problem with the connection to the keyboard. So go ahead and just do this. Let's go under the microscope real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and check it out and see if there's anything obvious there. Okay, so it looks to be pretty clean under there. That's the keyboard connection itself. Sometimes we've seen it before where it gets sometimes we've seen it before, maybe like one of the edges or something is damaged or corroded completely and it gives a problem, but it looks to be pretty clean. Probably more of a problem with the connection itself. Now I'm going to be looking at this other part too, because the other side, right, this connects to something, so it connects to the other side. But this connection looks to be pretty healthy for the most part. I don't really see anything obvious. Okay, so we're on the trackpad side here. Oh, you know what? There's one thing we didn't do. We didn't just remove the keyboard connection entirely, so we can keep the trackpad. It looks to be pretty clean under here. We're going to go over here, and this is the connection to the keyboard. If we look here, look at that. You see it? Ooh, we can get a nice zoom in here. A nice zoom. This is the connection actually to the keyboard itself. Now we see it. So you see on the bottom side here, I'm going to point with my Q-tip. See the bottom side? That's corroded. That's completely damaged there. So there's your problem. So we pull out the cable. You see the top part over here, that this is actually damaged. It's burned completely. And the rest of the connection, hopefully it's okay. If not, you can see here, this doesn't look to be too bad. So I'm sure the trackpad probably is okay, but just this cable itself, we want to definitely do a replacement for that. And we can try to do a little bit of a cleaning here and see, but I need to look at the other side. Let's take a look at the other side. It's very dirty, it's very messy. Let's just try a little, see if I just want to take a look at it a little bit closer, right? Just put a little dab here, see what happens. Because now it cleans off a little bit of the dirt there, the grime. If we see, look at the pins there, some look pretty dark, some look to be okay. That doesn't actually look too bad. If we take a look, oh, you guys can't see much, can you? Doesn't actually look to be too bad. Probably what we can do here is, we can't just get a replacement cable. I think that would probably be one of the better things to do. And we'll go ahead and see if it works. Now, a really interesting thing about this, and I just noticed this for the first time. I never even thought about this before, because usually you don't see this connection, be the only problem there, right? So if you actually look at this, look, if you see that white spot here, this little white square, I'm trying to hold this, do all this, sorry about that, but show you this little white square underneath here. Now what that is, that's actually the key switch that goes from the keyboard. And there's an easy access hole there, and since there's easy access there, what's the best thing to get in everything that it has a crevice or a little bit of a hole would be liquid. And that liquid would hit perfectly on this connection. It looks like it's made for this connection. There's a perfect hole for this connection here. Otherwise, this could have just been covered fine, because that would at least helped a little bit more. But there's a little bit of a section, and that section hits perfectly with where this is actually hit, right? This, if you look here, is pretty perfect. And what I'm guessing is that this trace line here is probably the power button connection, power button cable, which would make a lot of sense, and that's probably why even if you touched it, it probably isn't turning on. It's probably because of that. So it's interesting to see that, how it perfectly matched, right? Oh, just they engineer the perfect way for liquid to travel and hit your device, and a perfect way to kill it, or perfect way for repair, or perfect way for you to buy another one. So clean this up a little bit more. It doesn't look actually too bad. We'll go replace the cable. Go ahead and see if it works. So I put in a new cable here. That bottom one's a little bit of a pain, so that's why I just did it. Now I'm going to plug this in here, and we did clean this up a little bit over here too. So I'm going to plug this in, and let's go ahead and see. Okay, so plugged it in. Let's go ahead and close this up, and I'm curious. I'm going to go ahead and connect this to. I'm gonna connect it like this. I don't know, I may cut this part because it's always a pain to get a good angle. So it's plugged in now. Let's go ahead and see if it works. I'm gonna put it this way. It's very hard to show this. I have this all plugged in, and we should get everything right. We should have everything should just be working. I'm gonna hold down the Option key because I can at least show something there. Okay. So you see this here? It's 20 volts and about 0.04 amps. So this should actually pop, but we want to make sure that the keyboard works because this is a keyboard cable connection that was a little bit damaged there. So, man, this is origami here or something. I don't know. We'll know right away if it works. Okay, so the keyboard light does come on. That's good. And we see this is up. What about this? What about the trackpad? Trackpad working? Yeah, trackpad works. Well, can you guys even see? No, you guys can't. This is a real pain. So it looks like the cable actually did do it. I'll bring it over here. Okay. So you see this? You see that keyboard? That means this is always a good indicator, especially if you don't have a display or any power, and you're wondering what's going on. And this usually this is a keyboard light, right? So it works. So let's hold on the power button. It should work too. Okay, so that turns it off and on. So we're gonna press it again, and we're gonna go ahead and I think we can log in this time, right? Or let me just put it back. I think it'll be better to show the whole thing. We'll show it that way. But it looks to be good. Did it fix it? That major problem was the cable and the liquid damage on there. Okay, so we can go ahead and type in our favorite website. Should be your favorite website too. Let's go LapFix here. Type that in. Looks like the keyboard's working, which is fantastic on this one. And let's go to the website. Okay, so it looks to be pretty good, huh? So we're able to type, see that damage to the connection there, and we're able to do a fix for it. So I hope you guys will watch this video on fixing the 12-inch MacBook. Just MacBook, nothing else. You probably wait for Pro or Air or something else. Nope. But it's the A1534 2017 model. It's a nice rose gold, not pink model. If you enjoyed this video and found this video very informative, please leave a like. Really, this helps us a lot. Check out our other videos. We do lots of liquid spill repairs, lots of other cool repairs on this channel too. We like to explain a little bit more, and we do some more basic ones if you ever want to take a look at those, like software talks and just cool little things that we find here and there in our tech shop, right? It's always fun to do that. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.